Your Storm Team 2 forecast as we are preparing for another significant snowfall on the way. This, we're told, is going to be a multi-day storm. Right now, it's over the middle part of the country. We're showing you a live look right now at Chicago on the left and Muskegon, Michigan on the right. Both places there now dealing with kind of heavy rain. A big chunk of the country is going to get ice as part of this system, while others like us will see significant snow. We're going to get the full forecast on all of that coming up in just a few minutes. First, though, as we enter the month of February, we, of course, just wrapped up a wild January. It was bitterly cold, plus several of those big snowfalls. We got a lot of questions from you about the weather over the past 31 days. And meteorologist Elyse Smith joins us now with some answers. All right, Elyse, we're going to show the first question. Oh, we don't have. There we go. Let me ask you the first. That's not the first question, but that's how you can send us your question. 716-849-2220. So the first person asked us saying that it seemed like it never stopped snowing in January. There we go. Was it one of the snowiest months that we've seen?
It was. Very observant Western New Yorkers when it comes to weather, and this was actually the 7th snowiest January on record with what was it, 52.1 inches of snow falling for the season. So that's pretty significant. Usually we only get around 26 inches of snow, give or take, in the month of January. And remember, this was propelled by 2 daily record snows with over 17 inches of snow falling on both of those days. It was both of those days ended up being the second and third snowiest January days on record, with 17.6 one day, 17.2, 17.8 on the other, and it only didn't snow for 2 days.
Wow. In
January, Michael. Yep.
We loved those 2 days.
And they were the last 2 days of the month.
Oh, yeah. They were very nice. All right. Question number 2 that you can see at the bottom down there. A viewer noted how cold January was, while also saying, the earth is warming. We know climate change is real, and kind of wondering, can climate change also be behind extreme cold, not just extreme warmth?
Yes, when I think about this question, I think about Emily Pauline, who's a climate risk analyst I spoke to for a climate change story last year. And what she said, I think, put it in good perspective, where climate change is usually seen as extremes locally where you are. And that did happen to us over the past 2 months. We had the 2nd warmest December on record, and then we had the 7th snowiest January on record. So from one extreme to the other. And then when I think about more so for January and the climate drivers for winter, that's more the La Nina pattern and how the La Nina impacts our jet stream. And that completely verified in January. We had obviously a wet January with all the snow that fell, but that jet stream even dipped a little farther south. So that's when we were able to see the colder, wetter version, which was, of course, all that snow, Michael.
Yeah, I think we've talked so much about the snow, but the cold really sticks out to me for January, too.
Yeah, we had a handful of days in the single digits, really.
Yeah. All right, finally, a lot of people have asked the final question that you can see there, wondering, when does the lake normally freeze over? I know it varies year to year. What's the average? And then wondering if we're close to that, hoping so.
Yep, so for Lake Erie typically freezes over in about mid to late February. And what's interesting right now is that we have more ice coverage on Lake Erie than we did for the entire season. And let me adjust the graphic. Thank you, Michael. So here is a graph that you can see. It's a little hard to see, but the red line is the seasonal average. The lake doesn't freeze over every single year. The black line is where we are right now, which is over 85%. The lake is, I believe, right around 87 point, what is that at the bottom?
0.33.
Yes. And likely a little bit more after the cold start to the week. This is the latest update from January 30th. And for Buffalo in particular, we have around 2 to 6 inches of ice on the lake. So we're well on our way to getting frozen. Completely frozen.
That means we stopped the lake effect, which is good.
Well, but it doesn't mean we couldn't get more synoptic snow like what's coming.
Yeah, no doubt.